everyone, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of a video game named Etherlords 2, or as we Russians call it, Demurgi 2. Yes, it's a game developed by Nival Interactive in Russia. This is the second game. The second one came out in 2003, I believe, and the first one came out in 2001. So it's a really old game, but it's also one of my favorite games. I occasionally go back and replay it. I feel nostalgic, but sometimes it's just because I really love the way they made the card strategy battles, even though they do need a little hashing out here and there. But overall, I like it. I like the variety of strategies that you can come up during a battle. For those of you unfamiliar with this game, Etherlords 2 specifically, it's a bit different than the first one. If the first one was a mixed match between like a card strategy battle meets Heroes Might and Magic with castle management and everything, plus multiple player availability, or I guess heroes. This one specifically only has individual heroes that you control without castle management, and you control only one hero at a time, and you follow the campaign mode. I like this way better just because I am terrible at castle management. I like doing just sort of like following a narrative, kind of like a quest game in a ways, and doing battles. I just like it. It just feels more relaxing to me. I kind of enjoyed it more, and there's some slight role-playing elements, but not really. They're very minor, and I'll pretty much show you what they are as we play along in the campaign mode. Before I start, I do want to let you know that this game, the interface translation is English, but the voice acting is going to be Russian, because I just really hated the English voiceover. It just sounds so bad. It's not even the good kind of bad. It's just awfully bad. Like, that's how much I hate it. So I ended up just replacing the in-game file. Oh, and another interesting thing, if you're playing this on Steam, your version is gonna be 1.03. Same thing for the Russian one. But on the GOG version, the Russian one for some reason is version 1.04, and it does introduce differences in gameplay, like certain monsters having different abilities than others, for instance. And the reason why I mentioned that is in case if you do want to get a Russian voiceover, you cannot use the newer 1.04 version. I'm sorry to say that. So if you have a Steam version, hey, you're in luck, you can pull the audio files from there. Or, well, if you need it, that is. Anyway, so let's start a new game. I'm not gonna do a tutorial because it's pretty self-explanatory, and I'll try to explain how the battles work. It's very simple. We're gonna start a campaign, a new one, and in the beginning you get to pick two heroes. So basically how the campaign works is you pick one hero, one path to follow. You finish that path, and then you have another one to start automatically, and then a third one. And depending on who you start with, the second path and the third will have differences. So let's see, we have the first type of, I guess, race of people, Vitals, and then we have the Chaots on the side. Ether of Nature, Ether of Flame. There's pretty much four, but we'll see that as we play along.
С помощью магической силы природы юная витальская героиня узнает, что ей предстоит иметь дело не только с обычными противниками. В мире эфира появился новый враг, и под угрозой оказалось самое существование мира.
Now, if you're curious, actually, I forgot to mention it too. The translations are more or less accurate. The only issue is that they're a little too accurate. By that I mean, Russian is a kind of language that's kind of more primarily based on feelings and communicating using very vivid imagery often. Well, a lot of times. I'm gonna say this way. We even have a lot of expressions based on conjuring very vivid images in our mind, based on what we say, how we say it. And unfortunately, it doesn't always translate that well into English, so don't get too weirded out by certain dialogue structure. They just literally translated how you say it in Russian, albeit maybe with some like switcheroos with the sentence order, because different languages. So that's what we have for her. For this guy.
Вспыльчивый герой Хаот сражается с множеством различных врагов, завоевывая богатство и славу, а также преследует новых таинственных противников, неизвестно откуда появившихся в его стране.
Now, if you're just starting out this game, I suggest to go with Vitals because I feel like it's the most friendly in terms of teaching new players what you can do and certain mechanics. For some reason, they feel the most fleshed out of all the campaigns, so I suggest you go with them first. Now, you'll always be met with this map when you start a campaign and when you complete mission after mission. Right now, we're all the way up here, somewhere called Blackthorn Fortress. Now, the land is divided into, as you probably figured out, 4 type of races, I guess. Vitals, Chaots, Kinets, and Synthets. And we seem to be right at the border between the two. Now, I'm gonna be playing this on hard mode difficulty level, because I like a challenge.
Эйлин из клана Рябины должна выяснить, почему и зачем синтеты вновь вторглись в земли Виталов.
Okay, so we're essentially fighting an invasion. Fantastic. Also, the level difficulty, I usually play on the very hard one, or just hard, because I don't think it's, I kind of feel like it's somewhat more or less balanced and playable, apart from very specific battles, but we'll get there when we do encounter them.
Эйлин, старейшины Виталов обращаются к тебе. Неделю назад мы узнали о пограничной стычке с синтетами у крепости Терновника на северной границе лесной страны. С тех пор мы не получали вестей оттуда. Оставь все дела. Поспеши на север и выясни, что там происходит. Да будет слово твое нашим словом, и да будет сила леса тебе опорой. Я Эйлин из клана Рябины, и мое слово – слово старейшин. Расскажи мне, что происходит здесь.
Приветствую тебя, сестра. Поспеши к Тьянану, командиру крепости. Он ждет тебя на центральной площади и сам расскажет тебе обо всем.
So yeah, this is how you'll be navigating. You can't zoom out like this. This is how I prefer to play this game, because I feel like this is maybe a little too close zoomed in, though it's not so bad, but I like zoomed out a little more. We can talk to him again.
Мне приказано не выпускать никого до тех пор, пока крепости грозит опасность.
Ah, got it. Okay, so I'll be stuck here forever. I understand it perfectly. Now, this map is not really a big one, you can tell already based on where we started and where we are now, but it's a pretty good one for starting area. Now we have this guy over here. We might as well talk to him.
Привет тебе, дева лесов. Бесстрашно пришла ты сюда навстречу войне, чтобы перевязать раны нашим воинам и подать им воды.
Ты ошибаешься, капитан Тьянан. Это твои стражники перевяжут мне раны, когда я вернусь с победой. Но прежде скажи, что происходит здесь? Почему стычка так затянулась?
Стычка? Лучше назови это войной. Невиданные силы врага пришли в движение. Загляни в магическую чашу у восточной стены и убедись сама. Вероломство их внезапного нападения ослабило нас, но мы смогли собрать силы и выдержать удар.
Торопитесь, воины синтеза! Надо захватить крепость, пока к этим варварам-виталам не подошли подкрепления.
Yeah, and you can totally look around at all the stuff you can see. Like, they got prisons, they got a fort that's usually used for guarding posts, I guess. You can actually look at the heroes too, like by right-clicking and holding it. Like this guy's called, well, you can see it over here. Omega 400E Destructor. He's a synthet, and this guy too. This one is Alpha Smasher. They got Teleporter Kit over here, Signs, Prisons. Ocularis Warp. It unveils the territory around itself. It's basically based with those, with this thing that Eileen is interacting, like the fountain with the skulls. You basically can see environment through those eyes, I'd imagine. And then you also have the jetty for embarking onto the water so that you can actually move around. Yeah, he's spoofed. He's gone.
Мой посох в твоих руках, Тьянан из клана Терновника. Укажи мне мое место среди твоих воинов.
За крепость я пока не опасаюсь, но у заставы Белого Камня Килан Бесстрашный 8 дней в одиночку удерживает врага. Каждый день умножаются подвиги Килана, но его силы имеют предел, а враги все прибывают и по морю, и через телепорт. Ты должна помочь ему отразить атаки.
And that's like the first batch of dialogue. By the way, I also found it weird that there's a statue that looks like Eileen over here. I'm not sure what's going on with this one, unless there was a predecessor and she looks awfully like that predecessor, I guess. But yeah, level 3, the guy who died was level 1, the guard was level 2, yeah, and that guy was level 3, so you guys might be in trouble. I can see that already. Although I'm low level 2, so what do I know?
Так эти ржавые синтеты прибывают через наш телепорт?
В день вторжения потоки эфира исказились, и телепорты словно сошли с ума. Многие, войдя в них, пропали без следа, а из самого обычного телепорта теперь может вывалиться синтетское чудовище. Старики говорили, что телепорты – дар ржавых, поднесенный некогда в знак мира. Если это так, то воистину дар этот такой же обман, как и сам мир.
Укажи мне самый быстрый путь к заставе.
Застава на другом берегу реки, и кратчайший путь к ней лежит через телепорт у северной стены. Пока еще не подвластный чужой магии, воспользуйся им. К югу от выхода из телепорта в чаще леса живет Рулана-отшельница, великий маг. У нее ты сможешь получить очень полезные заклинания. Поспеши, и да будет сила леса тебе опорой.
I can still talk to you, wow.
Поторопись, Эйлин. Килану все труднее сдерживать атаки врагов.
Okay, I will. I guess this is just a dialogue to hurry me up and get out of here. But yeah, this thing is called the magic font. Shows the remote area on the map. Through those eyes. Oh, I can talk to you though, Lona.
Некогда болтать попусту. Ржавые могут напасть в любую минуту.
Okay, never mind. Not gonna talk to you. And yeah, corpse, very abstract. Sometimes you can loot stuff from those. Usually, most of the time, or rather all the time, it's spells. Since this is a card-based game, It has card strategies. Our spells are basically our cards, essentially. This is our default deck that we start with. Let me just rearrange so that it looks visually appealing to my eyes, at least. And in here you see a couple of things we can have. We can have a specialization, we can have skills, we can have artifacts. That's something that actually makes this game semi-RPG, but not really. I mean, you don't have quests as it is. It's mostly like the main story quest and maybe with some semi-side missions that you can choose to do or not. That's up to you. But most of it stems from all this stuff, which is something I really like about this game. It gives you this freedom. Now, there's another fountain over here. There's Kilan and there's Epsilon, a pusher. Well, Kilan is, yeah, he's level 2. He's okay right now, but he might not last that long. Anyways, so the only way to go is through the teleporter. Now, maybe I should explain a little bit about some game features. Over here you have a notebook. It's basically a journal that has all the dialogue that you went through with people. At least all the significant ones. It can also have battles, but I think it's like stats for the battle. When you move around, your days pass. There's some parts, not for Vitals, but for some other campaigns where you have a time limit. Those ones can be somewhat stressful, but more or less it's doable. Now in this game you can also buy spells, and you buy them using these resources: plants, stones, and frozen flames. You can also sell spells to get very well. It depends on which spell you sell, but oftentimes you get some quantity of those back, but not at the original price at which you bought the spells. And also very cheap spells or very low-level spells like these ones, they're not gonna give you anything when you try to sell them. So always watch out for what you get back when you put them for the trading. And yeah, I just now acquired some of the weeds, I guess, plants. And there's our first enemy. Spitting Fingers. He has a specialization called Fingus's Vitality. Every Fingus summoned by the hero has a chance to regenerate when its toughness drops below 1 point, including cases when it is destroyed by a spell or sacrifice. Let's review our spells. We do have a Fingus. It doesn't have any attack. It has 2 toughness, which is basically health. It can spit, but it dies pretty much when you do spit. We have the Forest, but it's gonna be useless against this guy, and it's pretty much because they cannot attack. Not in a traditional sense. The Dense Forest basically makes creatures with power of 1 or less unable to actually attack you, the hero. Then you have these things, which boost your power by 2, and these things are called ether drops. You spend 1 ether, but you basically gain an extra ether. 1, basically. If you do 2 minus 1, it's 1. And then we have the actual units for fighting, Tick Warriors. They cost 3 ether. Attack and toughness is the same, 2-2. Now, ether is what you use to cast spells. And we might as well test it out right now. Apparently I'm first to go, and I'm lucky I can actually get my tick out. Oh, shoo. I got an extra spell. Oh wait, no, I'm fine. It does cost 3. Never mind. Also, if you hold space, you can skip some animations. It makes some repetitive battles faster. And by repetitive, I mean the ones that, as I mentioned before, that were not so well balanced, where you keep losing and trying to beat the enemy. We'll meet them at some point. here, this is the ether you have. I forgot to explain that, by the way. This is the ether channel. Ether channel basically is, defines how many ether you're gonna get for this turn. He had one, so he spent that on a fingers. I mean, they're kind of cheap. Although sometimes what happens is that in the beginning of the battle you can get an extra ether. So I assume that's what happened actually. He had an extra ether and he spent it. They tend to increase by 1 unless you're really weak or something. Now, unfortunately, his specialization worked just now. And he's gonna... he's gonna destroy us. You see, he can spit when they're down. So that sucks for us. Oh yeah, the most useless card in the entire world. Brilliant. So I'm thankful I did not use these. I kind of thought he might actually get a spitter. Now this one, it gives him 2 ether. And this thing allows him to heal. It's an enchantment. Enchantments typically go onto a monster or on a hero. In his case, it's a recyclable enchantment. He pays an ether to gain some life, usually 2. Now this is going to be problematic for me. Because I have a fingers, but not a tick. And I want a tick. And this one is pretty much going to be healing himself. And I won't be able to do much except just spit on him. Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, he might try to heal destroy them. I should get another tick though. At some point. Instead, I'm getting fingerses. Is this thing dependent on strength? No, just 1 damage, okay. Also, if it gets harder to target, you can press F1, F2, F3, and stuff like that to change your view. I sometimes have to do that when enemies are really tiny or something like that. No, he's pretty much just gonna be healing himself. I should try to kill him before he before anything terrible happens. Unfortunately, when your battles are too long, and by too long meaning you waste too many turns, a lightning can start striking you and your enemy. You can technically use that as a strategy to win against an enemy, but there's some skills that can give you an advantage, where the lightning is more likely to strike your enemy first and you much later. But your enemy can also have a specialization, so you know. Ah, see, I got struck by lightning, but I think he'll die first. Yeah, he's just healing himself. Considering that it strikes me, I assume that might be his specialization actually, but he's gonna die. Thank God. I assume he ran out of cards, because you can actually run out of cards, especially in the beginning levels. At the moment, each card has 1 charge. So it pops in once in your deck, and that's it. Once you cast it, or you don't cast anything and it shuffles out, that's it, it's gone. So that's kind of not so good for us. Now we got a new spell, it's called Force of Sacrifice. You sacrifice a creature and you gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. You draw 1 spell, and enemy hero takes damage equal to the power of the creature. Now this thing is gonna come in handy for us. I would say probably more than maybe an extra fingers. We'll have to test it out. Ooh, there's an enemy over here. A Triant sapling. He has what is called Triant's Guile. Any Triant under this hero's control has a chance to drain health after successful attack against enemy hero and pass that health to its controller. Which sucks, man. It really does. He's basically life-stealing. And then we have the improved Fingus. The same specialization, but level 2. He's known as Carnivorous Fingus.
Ага, ржавые уже успели притащить в наш лес своих бездушных тварей.
This is a mechworm. It is a synthetic creature. Its specialization is to raise the dead. It means that if one of his creatures died, it has a potential to return from the graveyard as an actual castable spell into the battle. So there you go. Now, I'm thinking I might have better chance with a Fingus than a Triant, but I'll have to test it out. Now, this guy, if he does, he's kind of tricky. You know what? Actually, we might be fine with this. Let's try. Now, he's tricky because this is one of the creatures that can have regeneration. It works by... how to say this? If you have any leftover ether, in his case, 1 ether, if the creature's health drops below 0, the creature is not gonna die, but it will waste some ether on his part. So that's not really great for us. However, Triants aren't really famous for having Finguses, so I might as well summon a tick now, rather than wait for later. Sucks for me, I guess. Yeah, sucks for me. If I get a Fingus, oh, great! I can kill one of you. For sure. No more life steals. Let's see if he'll be ready to sacrifice his Triant. He does. Okay, good for me. Yeah, he had regeneration of 1. Now he has a superior forest, but I am lucky because I can just beef up my strength. And I'm good to go. His forest blocks creatures with power of 3 or less. So that works for me. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it costs about the same as a thingamajiggy. Forgot their name. I do have a forest though, so I can cast it. Unless he gives a Triant a power, he won't be able to attack. And he'll waste him instead. No regeneration because he wasted everything. Good for me. And I assume he probably ran out of Triants. Yeah, I think he ran out. But also, just to show you how the spell works, actually. If you're curious, that is. And I got an extra spell, but I can't cast it till next turn. But he'll die anyway, so who cares? Ooh, I got some of the good ones. Now, they're flying creatures, so flying creatures cannot be blocked by non-flying ones. I also get this thing. It gives me extra ether channels, but I get to sacrifice one of my creatures. It's good if you want to get some extra ether very quickly. Now, in my case, it doesn't really help me with anything because my spells disappear much quicker than I can cast them, so that sucks. But if I level up, and I'm very close to leveling up, I'm pretty sure after battling with this guy, I'll level up. I have no specialization, however, I can have better chance of beating him with those. This one is too expensive though, so I might stick with this one. I might I mean, I can use this thing to sacrifice a fungus. They don't need a forest, so I'm fine, but... yeah. I might try this strategy. We'll see how it works. Okay, good. I can already summon a tick. Now, I don't think I'm quite lucky because I think he'll just spit at my tick. Yeah, he will. But, one died at least, the other one is not. Oh, you have the superior forest, don't you? I'll have to wait, because I can't do anything. I can cast this guy, but he'll die much quicker, I think. I'll wait till next turn. Ah, you're gonna start beefing up your attack. I see, I see. Maybe he'll waste his guys on my tick. Yeah, okay, we baited you. But he summoned really beefy ones, though. Let's see if he reacts to my flying creature. He might as well. Okay, I got my sacrifice. It will come in handy, but... oh, okay, I have enough actually to cast it. Good for me. Now, you do have to spend ether to actually cast it, so... oh, you... he survived it. Sucks for me. Well, I can cast the superior one. He'll definitely survive. His attack is low. So this battle is gonna completely rely on the flyers. Now, he has sacrifice. Deal X damage to target creature or hero, where X is the power of creature with this ability. Awesome. Now, theoretically, I could do a different strategy if this doesn't work out using these ones. Yeah, it gives me ether channels, but... let's wait a little bit. Okay. Oh, shoot. Wrong thing. Oh, well. Yeah, I've run out of magic, apparently. Oh! Never mind, I'm good to go now. I could try this instead, but... let's see. Okay, he's not gambling on this one, though. Now... I think he'll let it fly. Yep, he will. We got another hornet and another sacrifice. Okay, now this is an important tip from me to you guys if you're playing this game. When you first level up, always get this thing. What it does is it will allow you to cast each spell twice. You should get it as soon as possible because otherwise your battles are going to be pretty difficult. The other specializations, how to say this, they will always shuffle when you level up, so you never get the same ones. So you might technically have an occasion where you're not going to get resources as an option the first time you level up. Which is going to be unfortunate if you do. Usually though it pops in early. You do also get regeneration. Every third turn you get 1 point of health. And you can also level up the specialization too. At the moment, I only have it up by 1 star, but you can level up by maybe, I think, 3 stars at least. This one increases a hero's life, but to be honest, I always managed without it. Resources are more important, so... There you go. Now we have more chances of getting back some of our fighters. Now this guy is gonna be interesting to fight, at least for you guys. You do need a forest for this one. I am gonna use the cheaper hornets. What else? I might actually use just 1 hornet, actually. I might do something like... Oops, something like this instead. Give me a moment. I'm gonna hope the forest is gonna pop in early on, because otherwise it's gonna be a little hectic. But we'll see. Okay, it did not appear, but... should I wait till another turn? Yeah, why not? Now, as you saw, he pretty much went attacking me immediately. That's just because this creature is a berserk. He cannot control when it starts attacking unless there's something that's blocking the creature from attacking, like the forests. They also have regeneration, but their regeneration kind of sucks. It requires the 3 ether, which is kind of a lot for a starting creature. By the way, it also means that he's gonna be resting when it's my turn to attack, which means he cannot defend against us. But I'm gonna show him a little surprise. It's called I'll spit on him to death. Bye. Hasta la vista. Okay, now he had the Raise of the Dead works. And those spells are cheap, so look, he summoned 2 for 1 ether. Or rather, 2 per ether. Actually, wait, no, that sounded wrong. Oh well, you know what I mean. I should probably get another U. And I'm gonna keep... Oh, maybe I'm approaching this the wrong way, actually. Oh, well, he's gonna die anyway. This thing basically ups power and toughness by 2. However, each turn it's gonna get reduced by 1 until he dies. So, that's how it works. Might as well maybe go... Oh, he has 3 ether now. Oh, that's interesting. I might as well go with a tick. I'll use him as a defensive unit. Or not. I won't be able... He'll actually kill me. My first death in the game. I probably shouldn't have spit so much on him. This thing is called Enfeeblement. My creature cannot get up unless I spend 3 ether. Then this specific enchantment will disappear. It's very useful because it's pretty cheap to cast. Yeah, it's like 1 spell to 1 ether to cast. And this is how we die. It sounds so dramatic too. But yeah, we're gonna skip that. And everything. Now... Maybe making sure that the forest is here earlier will up my chances of not dying. Pretty much. So we'll see how it works. Ah, there it is. Okay, there it goes. Now he'll be stuck in there, except this one. Now... Ah, man. Well, I'm using them as sacrificial troops, at least. Okay, maybe I should have had that spell to make sure that I'll stay alive. He uses those things. It basically returns one of his creatures from the graveyard into his hand, but it deals 1 damage to me. Maybe I should have I should have probably had one of those healing spells. Oh, you're kidding me. You just canceled out my attack. You really had to do it this way, didn't you? Well, instead, how about I'll just kill you head on like this? Might as well cancel out the enfeeblement. You know what? I can actually sort of cancel out using these two. Might as well waste these. Now, theoretically, he can kill my creatures. Because he has a lot of them, and the way it works when you defend it against creatures, some of the creatures have the trample ability, which means that when they kill or defend against a creature with a toughness less than their attack, you take the power of your creature minus the toughness of the creature you just beat up, or I guess regenerated against you. And then the leftover strength is what he can carry over to the hero or another creature. Yeah, you can put up multiple creatures when you do the defenses. Watch. He'll try to kill this guy pretty much. Now, even if you don't trample, because my tick has power of 2, but his worm has a health of 1, it does take an extra worm to make sure that my tick won't be able to attack anymore. Because once the power runs out, that's it. He's not going to be attacking any other creatures that are defending against him. That's basically why the other one died. I might as well just use this. Get a little health and kill him off. I was afraid that I didn't have that spell. Apparently I did have it. I forgot about it. Oh, we have a superior forest. That's gonna be handy. Now, we have these things as well in the game. The Shrine of Knowledge. It basically gives you a specialization. A very specific one. This one gives me what is called Thrifty Casting. And what it does is I have a chance to cast a spell without expending the charge. Because of resources, I have a charge of 2. But this one just makes sure that I can occasionally not waste it, I guess. Is the correct term. I might as well keep 2 of these, I think. Now let's quick save and let's see. We have resources over here and... Ooh, there's a hero. What's your name? Vrulana.
Привет тебе, сестра. Великое бедствие пришло в лес, и нет в нем чащи достаточно глухой, чтобы спрятаться от него. Лес до самой глубины пропах ржавчиной и смертью. Лесного кота, с которым я делила пищу, я нашла рассеченным надвое.
Воины Тьянана удерживают ржавых.
Враги находят обходные пути, сестра. Они избегают столкновений и не поднимают шума, но они беспощадны к тем, кто встречается им на пути. Боюсь, что цель синтетов — проникнуть в самое сердце лесной страны, к источнику жизни. Я хотела бы помочь тебе, сестра, но истратила все свои запасы, помогая защитникам крепости. Отыщи несколько растений и камней на берегу реки, и я смогу составить заклинание для тебя.
Now, this is something that you should do for sure. I have a lot of plants, but I don't have any stones. However, lucky for us, they're actually not far away. Also, you might have noticed something, this thing over here pop in. It's because of this statue, the Protector of Life. It says, whenever creature whenever creature is destroyed, glitter dust spell is cast on enemy of destroyed creature's controller. So basically, I can destroy my creatures, I assume, and this glitter dust is gonna be casted on on the enemy. And what it does is it rests all enemy creatures except those with restless ability. That might come in handy against other opponents. Now, it's because of the statue, the protector of life. An ancient mighty tree that protects each and every being stands here. If any creature dies nearby, Life Protector will retaliate against those who commit such atrocities in its presence. So yeah, that's the basic lore, I guess, for the statue. Now there's some stone over here. There's 3 of them. We need 5, so we need 2 more. Now, this is a flying enemy. They're very weak though. They have 1 by 1, but they're really annoying. And this one can raise the dead, so yay for us. I might as well make use of this thing too, by the way, as morbid as it sounds. Let's try that, shall we? Also, this thing might come in handy too. Why not? Now, also, I forgot to review about the hornets. I keep forgetting because I played this game before, and I keep forgetting most people don't even know what this game is about. So we got 2 hornets, right? One of them has 2 by 2, the other 3 by 3, and this one is super expensive though. But they're special. They have the first strike, so basically whenever they attack, even during defense phase, they will always be the first to actually attack. And if any creature got damaged by the hornet at the end of combat, that creature is gonna die. Yep, that's how they work. Now, let's try and kill this one. It's basically a worker bee. Oh, bee warrior. Never mind. Might as well be a worker bee, though. Now, sucks for me because I don't have a forest yet. So I'll be doing lots of spitting. It does mean that I'll get glitter dust, but hey, there's no creatures on my end, so that doesn't matter. Funny thing is, both creatures died, so there's nothing to cast. Ah, god damn it, you're gonna keep forcing me to kill you. It's primarily a defense mechanism against this guy until I get a forest. Oh, you have your own. Oh, interesting, interesting. Well, I'm gonna get some sacrificial stuff. That'll be amusing. Oh, you're also gonna heal. Well, isn't that fantastic for me? Not really. I do have this thing, though.
Oh, no, yeah.
Let's see, he got another. I have an idea for how to fight him. I can potentially use this thing, but...
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, right, the forest. He has his own, I forget. Oh well, too late. Oh, he really beefed him up, didn't he? Okay, that sucks for me.
Una hierro. Oh, no.
Ooh, that is not gonna work on him. Ouch. I'll have to try and defend myself like so. And I should cast the hornet on the next phase. Oh, I won't live to tell the tale. Okay, so this guy's tougher than I thought. Let's see, let's see. I might need more of these things, something tells me. Perhaps more hornets, because they do have a first strike. Unlike the enemy. Which might come in handy. Okay, I do have a forest this time around. Works for me anyway. There you go, get blocked. this is also a very useful spell. He gains 2 life for each creature in play. Unfortunately for us. He started beefing him up. That's not good for me at all. However, I can start doing this thing. Which works for me, I guess.
No.
There you go, they're sleeping. Isn't that lovely? I can also beef up my creature. Now this guy went for the attack, but so can I. Oh, but... I mean, glitter dust is not gonna work much for me at the moment, so I should be fine. Because everyone is already resting. Oh, never mind. It's gonna be at my combat turn. Well, my bad. My bad. Well, hey, how about this? You're gonna rest for a little bit. He's gonna heal. He's afraid of my hornet. Well, good thing for me, too. Now, I do need to start sacrificing in order to actually survive. We're gonna do it this way. Oh wait, what did I do? I could just spit on the bee. I didn't think about that. Now, with the sum... I can't. Got it, okay. Never mind. But he'll die anyway, at some point. Wrong attack power. Oh well, I can sacrifice one of you. It works out either way. He's dead. Oh, this thing is gonna be very useful. Basically, for every summoned creature, regardless if it's yours or your enemy's, you're gonna get 2 ether. That's really fantastic if you want to cast a lot of very cheap, very small-scale enemies, creatures. Now and it's also good at the block phase when your enemy summons creatures, and if you want to have creatures that can regenerate, it's useful for that too. Then there's also this thing. It's more useful than sacrifice, really, because, I mean, this one, you also sacrifice a creature, but you actually draw 2 spells, so I find it more useful. Now, our second phase of leveling up, we can get health, more resources, or get luck, which means our specialization has a better chance to work. There's also the opposite side of making your enemy specialization slightly worse chance to not work. It also means that your enemy can have the same exact skill types, and I'm pretty sure they actually do have them. You can tell based on how often your specialization works or does not when you actually do have things in place. But anyway, I do want to have a better specialization, but also better resources. I think at the moment, I might stick with better resources. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Now we got another enemy, but I do want to come back later. I want to first get the stones. We should have enough to get those extra magic spells. By the way, there's some to pick up from the dead fungus over there. So isn't that amazing? Rolana, I got the resources.
Ты нашла то, что я просила?
Yep. Now, that's why you should get the... sacrifice the resources for these awesome spells. Now we have our very own defensive units, essentially, of Vitals. I mean, funguses are defensive units technically too, but Trions are far more efficient if you calculate ether at the end of your turn. And also how many enemies, whether they trample, stuff like that. Now this is a new synthet enemy. It's Mini Hopper. And this one has a good specialization called Iron Skin. It basically has a chance to negate any melee damage received during combat. It can be tedious to fight them because of that. However, we have better troops now. So I can make lots of defensive units. And I think I'm gonna get one of you guys here. And one of you guys here. This should be good enough, really, to kill him. There's also this thing here. But we should be fine with the more cheaper versions, I think. At least. Okay, forest. Good, good.
Larnia. Leosana.
I can't cast anything, but we're fine. They're kind of weak anyway. Not a big deal. Unless you cast this thing, of course. But hey, it works for us. We have a forest. You're kind of, screwed for now. And I can't cast anything, so I'm screwed too. At least temporarily. But if you're curious about the hoppers themselves, it says mini hoppers are unaffected by summoning sickness. I have no idea what that is actually, so don't ask me. I assume it probably means certain spells, sorcery spells or enchantments that force him to unsummon or something. At the end of turn, if there are 3 or more creatures in the graveyard above Mini Hopper, return Mini Hopper into play. So that's how this unit works. Now we're gonna summon the Superior Triant. It just basically has a 2x2. Cost-wise, it's about the same as the Tick Warrior, but with regeneration. Ah, he decided to enfeeble my Triant. How dare you. Well, no matter, once my Ether gets over here, I'll be able to get a flyer. But to be honest, though, I can easily cancel your enfeeblement. But I do need to make sure my Hornet is going to be over here. I mean, I know there's one over here, but I'd rather not waste a charge. Also, he's wasting on those I don't really care as much about. So it does not matter to me at all. Ah, you decided to get your hopper from the graveyard. It does mean that the hopper permanently gets removed from the graveyard. You can actually check too, by the way. Right now he has nobody. I also have nobody because no one died. However, if I do something like this... It now appeared. Oh, I forgot about this. Amusing. But, I think I'm good to probably cancel out him and just attack. Yeah, at the moment this thing, we don't need it since they're blocked by the forest. He's completely stuck over there. Poor guy. Alright, so... Might as well test out the spell, right? See, my ether is still here. Because this guy's pretty cheap to cast. I basically did not waste any ether by casting this guy. And this one just brought 2 ether to me, even though it was 0 before. It also means this guy can survive the oncoming battle against the Hopper. And he decided to give up because there's too many of us. And his specialization keeps working. It's really well developed, unfortunately, for us. So it might take a little while to actually kill him. But not that long, really. Now we're gonna attack with everybody, it doesn't matter at this point. And we get more forests, more hornets. And let's see, what spells? Pretty much the same ones we already have, but it's good to have some extras. Because you do have to adapt to new strategies. Because not every enemy is gonna have the same deck of cards. Monster, sorcery spells. There's some enemies that don't even use any creatures at all. And what they specialize in is killing your creatures so that you can't attack whatsoever. Interesting fights that you get with those guys. I just like the diversity. Now, there's another synthetic creature called the Wall of Illusion. Its specialization is called Dazzling Illusion. So each time an enemy creature is blocked by... oops, my bad. Blocked by a Wall of Illusion under hero's control, there's a chance that the blocked creature will be enchanted by Enfeeblement spell. That's basically the cannot get up thingy majiggy. Which is interesting, but this creature is weak on its own. I think it has like 3 toughness. And it's not considered a flying creature either, so to fight against him, it would be more beneficial to have flyers. We could have a bunch of these too, by the way. Why not? And I am gonna invest a little more into this. Oh, and we don't need the forests for this one. So yeah, this is gonna be our strategy against this guy. However, I'm gonna have to fight him in the next episode because it's been a while since I've started recording. I really breezed through this map because there's like 2 more enemies, and that's it. You'll pass the first mission for this map. Yeah, it's once you get the hang of the strategy, the cards, and get used to them, and start experimenting and combining, it gets pretty fun, actually. And the diversity of enemies and the kind of strategies they can also have versus what you can have also make it very entertaining, because you always have to rearrange your deck and stuff like that. Anyway, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this episode. I know it must be unusual to have to read subtitles with the Russian voiceover, but I just think the overall feeling that you get from each character is just better. The tone and everything else, they just match better to each character portrait. Also, the synths have really amazing voices. It has a sort of like technological sort of like quality to it. It sounds really interesting when you listen to them. But anyway, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye!